So good day. In today's video, I'm going to be talking through some of the ways in which you can use artificial intelligence to help you with your literature review. Now, when we say literature review, it can refer to various things such as narrative review, a scoping review, or a systematic review. Now, for the duration of this video, when I mention literature review, I'll be talking about a narrative review in which you look at a wide range of papers on a chosen field and then you provide a narrative based on the findings from research papers which you have included in your study. Now, AI can be used in various different ways to help you with your project. However, it is also worth mentioning that you shouldn't use AI to write paper or literature review from scratch because, for one, it is not ethical, at least as it stands now at the time of making this video. It is also important to keep in mind that learning how to work on a paper or learning how to write a paper is a very important skill. So you should never use AI to completely write your paper from scratch. There are many different ways in which you can use AI to help with your project, but you just have to keep in mind about a few things before you do that. And also, it's worth noting that AI can make mistakes. Now, you might have seen that for yourself when you use some of the popular AI websites or some of the popular AI systems such as ChatGPT or Claude. And for example, if you ask a certain question, it can sometimes even make up fake references which doesn't really exist. Something to keep in mind that you should never rely on artificial intelligence for something such as a literature review. And in fact, for most things, if you do use it, you need to double check just to make sure that your answers are right. Now, this might change in the future, but as it stands now, AI is not completely reliable and it always needs human intervention, especially when you do something such as research. You should also note that artificial intelligence cannot replace the human critical thinking, and therefore it can't think like you. Therefore, when you write any research paper or when you work on research, it is important to use your own reasoning and your own thinking to put together the paper. That's one of the very important things of your contributions as a researcher to the field. In the case of a literature review, your job is to look at several different papers and write your conclusions or write your narrative based on the findings from those papers. And therefore, if you were to ask AI to do it, you lose that human input or your contributions on that topic to that paper. So in this video, I'm going to be highlighting some of the ways in which you can use AI in your own field or in your own research. I'm not advocating for any of these methods. It's just knowing that these methods exist, and even you do use it, you have to always use it in caution, keeping in mind that there are limitations to these methods at the moment. So one of the ways in which you can use AI for your literature review is to help with generating some ideas for a topic or a research question. Now, you might have a broad understanding or a broad idea of what you want to work on. For example, you could be wanting to look at surgical site infections, or you would be wanting to look at common complications after a certain operation, and so on. So even though you might have a broad understanding of what you want to work on, if you do want to narrow it down further into subtopics or particular question, you can use artificial intelligence to generate or give you some ideas about what you could be potentially work on. So for example, you can ask the AI system to give you some ideas for a topic for a literature review on a given subject or on a given subfield. So let's say you did use this and it gave you a few good ideas. Even though the idea might seem like a good idea to you on paper, you should always do your own literature search to find out what papers have already been published in that domain. And if you find that there are loads and loads of papers or loads of research that has been previously published, then even though it might sound like a great topic or a great idea, it is important to avoid that because you might struggle to get that published when you submit it to a journal. So when you work on a literature review, whether it is a narrative review or a systematic review, you will end up reading loads and loads of papers. First of all, when you screen your papers to decide whether to include that paper in your literature review, you would start by reading the abstract, and then if you can't make a decision, then you would end up reading the whole paper. So whatever approach you use, there will be loads of readings, and that can be a lot of information to take in. But it is also a very important part of the process because it gives you a good idea about what the authors have done in that paper, and also it gives you a good overview about that particular topic. After you have read those papers, you might want a quick summary of what that paper is telling you. And one of the ways in which you can achieve this is by uploading the PDF of the journal article or uploading a link to the AI, whichever system you want to use. You can sometimes use ChatGPT or you can use Claude, and you can ask it to summarize the findings from that study. So that will give you a nice summary, whether it is in bullet points or a few sentences, to give you a good overview of that particular study. Now, like I said, you can always use that approach, but it is important that you check the information that is generated is correct by referring back to the PDF or the journal article. Another way in which you might use AI to help with your research project is that when you have multiple papers which is talking about the same topic or the same field from different angles, you might not always see any patterns in these various studies. Or you can use artificial intelligence to find out if there are any recurrent themes within these papers. And one way in which you can do this is by uploading these papers onto the AI platform, and you can give a prompt such as identify any themes or any aspects which are common in these papers, and that will help generate a nice summary of the findings that are common or that are not common among the different papers. Now, once you get the output from your prompt, like I said previously, always check the information to make sure that it is correct and it is not something that has been generated randomly by the system. So one of the first steps of doing a literature review is finding the articles on the database. Now, this could be PubMed, this could be Embase, this could be Sports Discuss, and you could be looking at a variety of databases to find out the articles that match your search criteria. Now, when you do a search on a database such as PubMed, the keywords are a very important aspect of your search, which determines the quality of the papers that you will get from your search. And sometimes coming up with the keywords or the synonyms might not always be straightforward. And therefore, you can use AI to give you some prompts or generate some synonyms, which will help expand your search and which will help you find more papers in the topic that you're looking for. So, for example, if you're looking at, let's say, heart attack, there are several words which you can refer to heart attack, such as a myocardial infarction, and some papers might abbreviate it to a MI, or it could refer to it as ACS or acute coronary syndrome. So the same term might have different synonyms, and therefore you can use artificial intelligence to come up with different synonyms for the keywords that you are searching for, or it can help you expand on your search criteria. And this will make sure that you get a wide variety of papers and you don't restrict yourself to a few different keywords that might not get you a broader search result. So once you have collected all the papers that you need and once you have summarized them, the final stage of this process and the most important part of this is writing your actual paper. And when you do write your paper, it is important that you organize your thoughts and you organize your content in a structured manner so it makes sense to the person who is reading it. And you can use AI to help with this process to help structure your paper so it flows from one idea to the next quite naturally. Like I said previously, you shouldn't use artificial intelligence to write your paper because it wouldn't come out good if you do that, but you can use it to come up with a nice structure or which would give you a nicer flow for your paper. It is worth noting that the main outline for the paper will be more or less the same. So you would start with the introduction or the background, and then you would move on to methods, and then results, and then discussion and the conclusion. So most of the journals, if not all, will follow that same outline for your paper. However, within each of these subsections, it is your responsibility to make sure that your ideas and your thoughts flow from one to the other quite nicely. And it is also important that you do justice for the papers you have reviewed, so the message that the papers are trying to convey is reflected appropriately in your literature review. So these are some of the ways in which you can use artificial intelligence to help with your literature review. And last but not least, you should also bear in mind that when you do produce any research paper, that it is your contribution to the research world. Make sure that you produce something that is accurate and also that you maintain your professional and ethical standards in your research projects. And sometimes with the use of artificial intelligence, it is really easy to cross that boundary of producing something that is not original and that doesn't really add anything useful to the existing research database. And as artificial intelligence evolves more and more, there'll be new guidelines and new frameworks coming into place. So these are some very brief pointers to help you and to show you how you can use this technology. If used correctly, can save you lots of time and also can be a very useful addition to your research skills, especially more and more people are using it, and therefore it is something that might be worth learning. So if you found this video useful, please do watch the other videos which will help you get your first publication more efficiently.